All right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, a higher has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm just coming with a little something, something. Regarding the seven churches. Okay. Regarding the seven churches. I'm going to wait a minute. Shalom, shalom. It's good to see you. I'm going to wait a few minutes to at least get a few people in. I'm going to cut my phone off here. And the topic again is we're going to talk about the seven churches. We were speaking about it yesterday. That's a topic we would all like to uh, kind of cover. Um, we spoke of it in time past, and we said we're going to bring it up today. We're speaking on the seven churches in Revelation. Mhm. This is when the Most High was dealing with John, and he was having John to write these things down in which he spoke, the things that proceed out of his mouth. Mhm. Okay. I would say I did cover uh, some of Revelation chapter 1 and 2 regarding the seven churches. I found out some pretty good information that really made me feel really good. And that's what we're going to just talk about. Um, we were talking about going in and reading and letting the Ruach teach us or show us what is this surrounding the seven churches. And I will say that the angel that was charged to go out for each church, okay, uh, they were to just, in a sense, give them a sense of warning, okay, just give them a sense of warning and to let them know that Ahia did not forget about them, nor did he forget about the way that they have conduct themselves. Uh, and I like that because nothing beats a warning. I know a lot of us don't want to be warned. A lot of people don't want no one to tell them what is to come or give them a warning or tell them a warning. They just don't want, they rather just live and just things just come up on them all of a sudden. And when it does that, that's when it deals with your heart, your blood pressure, and everything else. You'd be surprised what a warning can do for you. And I like the way he had sent out the angels to each church. Now, I want to let y'all know he was speaking to those that are dear to his heart, okay? Those that are dear to a highest heart, uh, being so that they were individuals that he knew of, and that in time past, he wanted them to know I've been beholding you and you're doing this, 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 and you still doing this. And he still was giving them more than grace and mercy. What he was saying in Revelation 7 to the seven, I mean, in Revelation 1 and 2 to the seven churches, he was giving them more than just a warning. He was even laying out things that he have behold them doing and how they were have conduct themselves. And that, I think that's beautiful. That is beautiful for him to send out the angels to give them that head up. You know, you got to get it right. And like in this day and time, in this country alone, United States, no one wants a head up. No one wants no one to to warn them to say anything. Just let me just believe the way I want to believe, see it the way I want to see it, and do it the way I want to do it. And they don't understand people are letting you do it that way. That's how it's going. And that's what everyone is embracing, a life that, I'm saved. I have the Ruach, and leave me alone. I'm following the Torah. I'm doing. So everybody pretty much not can't see themselves being warned in this day. And we in this country needs more warnings than anything. As I was going over the Revelation chapter 1 and 2 regarding the 7 churches, I found myself all up in what Ahia is doing in this time with the United Snakes. The distance of where the United Snakes is, and the Garden of Eden, and the 7 churches in Israel and Jerusalem. They said Jordan and Jerusalem. And it's just it's such a big difference in space. And as I was going over the 7 churches, the Father was dealing with me on recognizing where United Snakes is versus the 7 churches, and Jerusalem and Jordan and all the other countries, and continent. Just showing you what was it about the United Snakes that it carried that power. When I was in elementary, I would tell people that. Now, this is what I used to tell them when I was in elementary. And during that time, elementary was from kindergarten to 8th grade. I used to tell them that the United Snakes was the crutch for Israel, to keep everybody off of those that are in Israel. Okay. And the United Snakes have protected them. They were their crutch, for them, and they protected them. I used to say that all the time in elementary. And what the Father is showing me is that the power in which, and the authority in which he gave the United Snakes was from his hand. It wasn't that United Snakes was all that and some. It was the fact that this is how he had orchestrated it. Because I went back and I said, well, in Ezekiel 36, Father Yah, you actually tell the house of Israel that you brought them to land and you dispersed them, meaning you scattered them in places that was like unto who they were. And I was like, wow. That means that being over in the United Snakes, y'all knew it was wicked and evil and corrupt, because it was everything it gained, and it was founded on kill, steal, and destroy. Now, when he sent you over Israel, you were already doing those things in the promised land. So in Ezekiel 36, he said, I scattered you amongst those different countries in which you were like unto. And I was like, wow. So see, even then, Ahio was beholding Israel, the house of Israel on the land that was holy. You see what I'm saying? And he was beholding their actions and what they were doing. And Father Yah said they were killing each other. So the house of Israel were doing all kind of wicked things that was identical to the way United Snakes does things. Okay. So he said he was going to scatter you among the countries in which you are like unto. Okay. Meaning the way you're conducting yourself, when I'm going to disperse you in those countries that you are like unto. And that's found in, let me kind of go over that where he says that, because I thought that was really powerful that our brothers never taught that and never expound or cover that. And it's not just it's in Ezekiel, Isaiah, and it's also in Jeremiah. Listen to this. It says, and I scattered them among the heathens, and they were dispensed throughout the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judge them. So Ahiah was explaining to me, Deborah, when you see the distance, that's how far this country is from my heart. And I was like, but Father, they are mighty long ways. They are long ways. They are long ways from the seven churches. They are long ways from Jerusalem and Jordan. They are long ways from everything United States is. So how did they gain that power? And then the Father told me, I gave that to them. I gave that to them at a distance of where they are at. What they gain is what I allow them to gain. You see, Yah is always in the front and in the back of it all. That's why he called himself the beginning and the end. And it's not like he's not everything in between. He's just letting you know I rule. I rule the beginning and I rule the end. And what you got to say about that? That's just who he is. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, when I'm doing my little study about the seven churches, I'm looking all the way over there to the United States map, and I'm like, wait a minute, Father, they too far over. What are they? How could they be ruling anything? You know, see, they didn't. The heathens in the United States here, the heathens, they knew who we were that was being dispensed or scattered among their countries and their surroundings on Brazil, all the places, the islands, every Jamaica, where they were scattered. Yah knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He purposely put us where we were among people that was conducting themselves like we were conducting ourselves over to the promised land on holy ground. We was on holy ground, you guys, So we conducted ourselves a way that Yah behold us. So he knew exactly where he was going to send us. Now, the United States were founded, everything they have was based on kill, steal, and destroy, wicked and evil. Because when I saw the distance, I said, now that makes a lot of sense, Father. It makes a lot of sense why he's talking over in Asia. To the seven churches, okay? Why is it Jerusalem and Jordan and Israel is so distant from? How did this country over here come and try to overpower Russia, China, all of them? What was it? Why is this country like this? Y'all said, I did that. That was my power allowing them to be where they at, as evil and wicked as they are. They were a distance, okay? Because what I was concerned about is the distance in which we traveled just to get way over there. He could have dispersed us everywhere. But why to them? Why over at such great distance? That's what got me. And it made me start having like a feeling toward that. And I was like, but Father, look how far the United States and all of them on this side is to where we are coming from. We could have been dispersed many places. Why there? You know what I'm saying? Why over so distance, And this is the Father was answer to me is because this is what I willed. I did it like this here. Okay. So, but it bothered me a little bit. If really my feelings got in it because I'm like, this is what I said. I said, wait a minute then, Father, Yah. We are a long ways home. He said, don't you always say that in parables? I was like, no, you didn't. He said, don't you always say that in parables? We are a long ways from home. We are a long ways from home. I mean, for real. For real. And being so far, things is actually being spoken to us in spirit in this day is kind of hard for us to even embrace it, and now seeing how distant we are from home, it's like, can we ever make it back? We know that his mighty right hand is going to make that work. Even in everything he's speaking to the prophets, he letting them know, I'm taking what's mine. I'm coming to get what is mine. I put them there, and I'm going to be the one that collect them on the four corners back to their homeland. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at that distance, though. I'm like, wow, that's a long ways. So now I can see what an individual will assume that we're going to come back. We're going to come back through Africa to get back. I don't think we're going through Africa. And this is another thing I found out as I was doing my little study, and is that Africa has no connection to us. Africa has no connection outside of also receiving some of the slaves that was dispersed to all the countries and continents. There were tribes brought to their land that they kept over there. Okay. Now, when we came over to America and Jamaica and all these other places, our first place we all was running to was Africa. You know, we was getting out of the area we were in, and they were also hunting us to bring us and take us and put us in captivity, in a sense, in Africa. And that's when Africa decided to take us, lock us up, and sell us and disperse us as well to other countries. You see what I'm saying? As slaves, you know. So what I see now is I had to see a route to where, okay, Father, if we're coming from United States, Sister Deborah, I'm going to tell y'all the truth about the way I see it. All I see is the right hand, the power of his right hand. I don't see ships. I don't see boats. I don't see horses. I don't see what they say, spaceships. I don't see none of that. I see his mighty right hand. And how do I see his right hand? I seen how he part. And when I think of that right hand, I think about the Israel people. I can picture them coming through the sea, the parting of the sea. And it was dry when they went through and had to go all the way on one side and walk all the way to the other. Now they're going to the wilderness. But the thing about it is the way that right hand conducted itself throughout that whole situation. And everybody today, this is how we do. We want all the glory. We want all the praise. We want all the honor, but we have not given that honor, that praise, and that glory to that right hand of the Father, which is his power. It wasn't that it was Moses. Moses didn't know his left from his right. It wasn't that it was Aaron or Marion. It was not them. It was the right hand of the Father. All his power is what guide us and direct us and place things above us, you know, to see to it that we get from one place to the other, likened to this same situation. Now, I'm sitting here looking at the distance from the United States to home, in a sense, where we say that home is. But I'm going to show you something. So I'm looking at that distance, and I'm like saying, everybody's saying only way he going to be able to do it is for us to go through Africa. Don't mess with the one I serve. You mess with the one you serve. You play patty cake with him. But the one I come to know, a higher, don't mess with him, because you don't know nothing about him. Because if you did, you would know that he has a mighty right hand and a stretched out arm that make left be right and right be left. You see what I'm saying? Up be down and down be up. Don't mess with him. He don't have to come the way we, in our minds, and the way we want to say that he's going to take us from here to there. Just know he gonna do it. You think the Israelites that was in Egypt was concerned about how we gonna get out of here and which way we gonna go and how we gonna be set free? No, they booked up and got out. Why? Because that mighty right hand knows what it's doing. And that's where we need to be. When we think of getting out of this country, we need to be thinking about that right hand and that power. That's it. That stretched out arm. That's that right hand. That's a highest power. Not how the power is going to do it, but that it's going to do it. It's going to show up and show out. That's all we need to know. Because I'm sure when they got out of the hands of Pharaoh, they weren't concerned about how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. Only time they did that is when they got to where they was going, the wilderness. Outside of that, traveling out of Egypt to the wilderness, they didn't have no problem. They was all going. No problem occurred until they got to that promised land. Not to that promise, to that wilderness. And that's when they was cutting up from the floor. But Yah got them to where he wanted and where he had orchestrated and and prepared for them to go as leaving Egypt, going into the wilderness. Okay. So the reason why I said that is because as I was doing my little study, I come up on a lot of things that was kind of sad to me. And it's really sad. It's really, really, really sad to me because I realized that we are a long ways from understanding what is actually taking place and what has taken place and what has always been there for us to behold, to see. That same flaming sword in Genesis that he said that he's going to leave on, and everywhere you turn, it's going to turn every way that you may find your way to the tree of life. I see us say it's lit today. That flaming sword of the Most High, higher, is lit today. That we may find our way. And what way is that? The same thing Sister been saying to you all for a little while now. That light, that spirit and truth, that righteousness, that just, you see, those things, the narrow gate, okay, those are the things we are to be, how would I say it, meditating on and thirsting, always thirsting for the next meal that Ahia can give you from out of his mouth to in your spirit. You see, because that's where he abide. He ain't telling you to trust what Deborah said so that you can get what he's saying. No, that's not what y'all, Ahia is not telling y'all that. He ain't saying trust the prophets, trust the prophetess, and you will have me. No, he said, I want to abide in you. Once you realize you got a spirit where I come to abide, I want to abide in you, but I want you to abide in me. That means trust in me that I got this here. And I can be your teacher. I can show you things to come. I can reveal things to you. I can comfort you. I can teach you all things. And you thirst for things more and more, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the spiritual realm. That's that thirsting because you want to know what is his will. What is it that he have you to do? You thirsting for the answer from him, not for people on this Black Devil platform, not for Sister Deborah, but from the Most High. Now, we are discussing Revelation chapter 1 and chapter 2 about the 7 churches. And I was just talking about how it feels really good that I did kind of read over it and kind of did a little search of my own, just sitting down saying, okay, Father, here I am. What is it for me to know? Because I'm going to tell you, I don't want to say no more. I'd like to hear from you all because what I have to say is it feels good to me. It feels good to me because I learned some things I didn't know. It feels real good to know the things that I did learn about the 7 churches. So did you all do any reading up on the 7 churches? I know you might not have, but I don't know. I can't say you have or if you have not. But yes, it's I don't know why my thing looked like this. But yeah, so I thank the Most High for that. I'm gonna keep talking until someone come up and say something they didn't read. If you haven't, I'll just continue to talk. So I thank the Most High for it because what I also learned was the 7 churches were those that y'all truly have a relationship with them. He truly have a relationship with them. He has not forsaken them. He has not forgotten them. He is even willing to leave them a personal warning. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. A personal warning to each church. Okay. And see what he did is the way he did it, he sent an angel down to go and warn each church about what they've been doing, what he has been beholding in their actions, the way they're conducting themselves and what they're doing. Now that is such a blessing. That's like sending another prophet in each one. And I like the seven churches because they all knitted together. That lets me know they are in unity, y'all. They are seven churches together. And what do you mean, Deborah? They're all in the same vicinity. What is it? Area. They all together. Okay. So when each angel were to go and speak to the seven churches, that was beautiful because he's like he almost sent his own personal angel to each one of them to tell them, because each one had something different that was going on that Yah was not pleased with. And see, Yah showed them what he did is he also was telling them about the things that he been watching, so they'll know that he was sending the angel. He was telling them, I seen this, I saw this, and you was doing this, and you was, see how the Father, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And those seven churches is said to be over in Asia. And guess what? It's not too, y'all, guess what? It's not too far from home. It's not too far from home. You see? So that leads me to understand that everybody that left the promised land, everybody did not come or get this scattered or dispersed far. You know what I'm saying? The seven churches was right there. It's not too far from Jerusalem. It's not too far from Jordan. It's right there. The seven churches. It's not far at all. Look at your map. You say, you key up and you say seven churches in Asia. And then you'll see, if they give you, you ask for the full map, and then you can see where Jerusalem and Jordan in Israel it's located. You know, it's not too far. The seven churches is not too far in distance at all. I mean, really close. So that leads me to understand that everybody didn't leave. Everybody, the promised land, there were those who left the promised land, but they didn't go too far from it. Okay, they didn't go too far from it. Okay, so they still over in Asia. The seven churches, and like I said, the love about it for me is the idea that Yah is even giving them a warning. He's just telling them straight up, I'm gonna warn you about the things you're doing, and it's left there for them, just warning them. They can look at it and they say, okay, this is where we at. He's talking to us. You get what I'm saying? This is where we at. He's talking to us. Oh, he's talking to us in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? They got a warning that can keep them in line and say, okay, he's talking to us. Here we are, the tribe of Judah. We know that we are dispersed in the United States and on the other four corners as well. But I think the tribe of Judah is more so in the United States and the other countries on that side, Jamaica and in areas of that on that side, which is a long ways from home. A long ways from home. I mean, like a long, long ways from home. And with the seven churches, I like how he said how he's going to deal with them and how he's warning them. See, that's all to me. That's what is it? He's giving them a warning. He's giving them information about what they're doing. He's giving them the insight of what he sees about what they're doing. And whether it's good or bad, he's saying things, he's giving them information, you see. So I think I found that to be really neat. And I also found out that we can't, a lot of these here nations in which the Hebrew Israelite movement has spoke of, we can't just do away with them, y'all. We can't go around here thinking that we all that and some. Yes, we the tribe of Judah. And guess what? We the forerunner. The tribe of Judah is the one that always, when he says Judah's hand's going to always be in his enemy neck, because Judah is always going to be reared up to fight. But what I learned today is not only is he going to be reared up to fight, Judah is going to be used to it because Yah has always put the tribe of Judah up front. They have to be the one to go in. They always the ones that go in the war or in anything that Yah wants to conquer. He always sends Judah. So Judah knows that his hand, is always going to be in the neck of the enemy, because he came up in as one of the tribes that Ahiah always called to go on the front line. Let's put it like that. Like the military, the first one they call is Marines. When that's how Judah is in Ahiah. So the good thing about Judah being that is Yah has all, and this is another reason why his brothers are going to really look up to him, because by Ahiah has always put Judah first to be the front runner. The front runner mean the ones up to do the fighting, okay, up first, and they saw that. The other tribes saw that Judah was always Ahiah always put Judah up on the front line to do the fighting. Okay, so even when they see him, I'm looking at Yeshua. Yeshua came out that line as well. So they're gonna always see that as well as the Messiah coming out of the bloodline of the lineage of Judah. So where we are at now is the seven. Wait a minute, we got some people saying. Someone say, let's see what you are. The seven churches. He left them warnings and told them to repent. Yeah, and turn back to him. That's right. Even didn't he tell us that too? He told us to repent, and he throughout the whole book is constantly telling us to repent. But he sent an angel strictly for the churches in Asia. Think about that. Some not in Revelation. It's interesting about the seven angels. Yeah. He take out time and send them that to warn them and to prepare them in getting ready. Okay, wonderful. You read it? Mm-hmm. What did you get out of it? Yes. Turkey? Yes. Did you see that? Do you see that? Now I'm like saying to myself, when I see that, I'm thinking, okay, I went back into it so deep, y'all. Let me see, tell y'all what I did. I went in it so deep. Iraq, is it Beijing? And it was Turkey. And guess what else is near y'all? The Garden of Eden. You remember them rivers? You see? The river, what I'm saying is all of these things is on one side, and you got the United States way on another side. And that's where we are at. That's where we are at. You see? I was shocked too when I saw Turkey, but I read that once before. But what I'm saying is Iran, Iraq, and others over there, you guys, are connected to the seven churches. You see? They are connected to the seven churches. Mm-hmm. The four rivers are over there where they are at as well. Don't forget, those rivers were the four heads that was leading from Eden. Or two, was it leading out the rivers? Yeah. And that was a holy place. Yeah. And it is the Middle East. Now, think now, y'all. That's really where we're from as a people. You see? And if the seven churches, only one I can think of is those in Iraq, Iran, Turkey. I'm telling you all of them are not. They are not connected with Africa. And I see where everybody want to make it Africa. No. It's clear on every map. Now, just because they connect each other, don't mean we call Egypt. We call Egypt. Even though it's connected pieces on Asia, but it's only it ain't even connected far as land wise. It's just connected, and they want to make, how would I say it? They want to make where we are from Africa, and we're not. We are not, and it's so plainly seen. I was like, Father, you mean these people battle with that on this earth, and it's plainly seen? It is. It's not. It's even some of them will say you have to be there to see that it's sitting on Africa. Ain't nobody need to be nowhere to see nothing. Okay, we just want to make it what we want to make it. But today I sat down, I looked at map after map, and I said, Father, we over there up in Iran or Iraq. That's where our home is at, y'all. That's where the people that was surrounding us while we were home. Do you understand what I'm saying? So therefore, where do we think we going back to? Huh? Where are you thinking we going back to? See, it's still over there in their area, or where they are, their home is. When you start talking about them 7 churches over in Asia, those are not people that we want to say that, cause they skin can look like ours, but they still a different nation. You see what I'm saying? They're still a different, and they still are included in with us. You see? So I think we really got messed over and messed up when we continue to believe it's all about the tribe of Judah. It is about the tribe of Judah, because the tribe of Judah is the front runner. Okay. And the tribe of Judah was the one that went in to the land of United Snakes and all those other lands, where he dispersed. Now, I believe there were those even left over, not left, that end up in Africa. I believe there's some that's end up in Asia. I think we're all over. That's why he said he's going to collect, he's going to gather. And I think the gather is so powerful because I still can feel his power gathering us. And in that power, it's going to bring us together in him. You see, and whatever route he take us to bring us to that mountain, I don't care. It's not important to me, but I'm not going to tell countries and continents and people that we have to go through the continent of Africa. We don't have to go through nothing. We got to go through that right hand power of a higher. And that's all we need to lead the people's mind thinking that he's coming for you. Whether you like it or not, he's coming for what he is. Whether we like it or know it or accept it, he's coming for what is his. And I sat there and I said, Father, we're a long ways from home. He said, but don't you say that all the time? You say it in parables, Deborah. I said, yes, but I didn't know it was that powerful, that we are a long ways, y'all. We are a long ways from home. And the only way we're going to get back to home, we got to have something that's spirit and truth to hold on to. We can't have this natural understanding, this natural history, this natural wisdom, and this natural knowledge. We got to have something deeper than that, because coming from, look at the map, coming from United States, Jamaica, and all those places back to home. To me, I'm not even caught up with where is the promised land. All I know, he said it was desolated, okay? It was polluted. But when he bring us through, and I think going through, we're gonna go through a wilderness, but I don't think it's no way he's gonna take us. Let me not say that. I can't, looking at the map, I can't see why he have to go through Africa. He don't have to go through Africa to get us back home. He don't even have to go through there. You see, the way his right hand is, and the way I've seen it work, let me tell you something. I wouldn't dare lock anybody in with, oh, this is the route, and this is the route. We're gonna go this way, we're gonna go this way, and he gonna take us. No, because the way I've seen his power work as a human being, and I mean not a dead prophet, but a living one. Let me tell you something. He's done things that you will be like, wait a minute, I know you didn't, because the way he does things is off the chain. He don't do it the way you think he's going to do it. He don't do it the way you feel he's going to do it. You see, and he don't do it the way you say he's going to do it. He always come another route. And you want me to tell you the number one individual says that? It's Yeshua. He says it all the time. This is ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know nothing about this. I don't know nothing about this. This is all in the Father's will. Because see, the way he does things, he don't even check with Yeshua. He don't go saying, Yeshua, when you get down there, you gonna know, they gonna ask you, No, Yeshua was quick to say, that is for my Father. No man knows but my Father. He always let us know that Father God, our Father in heaven, has a way of doing things that's off the chain, and it's so far off the chain, even I don't know. That's deep to me. That's deep. So that's why we shouldn't know it all or think that we know his move from A to B to C to D. No, we don't. Sister Deborah gonna tell you, you give or take. I might say A to B. Outside of that, no, I'm not gonna tell you all the way to Z. I'm not gonna even tell you to D. A to B. That's it. And I don't want to know no more than that. I don't want to know no more than that. I don't want to know no more than what he has given me. You said their names are given in order. Let me go back to my revelation here. Okay. All right. In order from the southwest. I didn't get that one. Their names are given in order going clockwise from southwest. I tell folks I'm not from Africa. Sorry. The Garden of Eden. I was thinking was if the ship that take us back into is saying war in the USA and we're getting taken away. Okay. I was thinking was if the ship that take us back into bondage is saying war in the USA and we're getting taken away. Now, the thing about it is, as we go to Matthew's, what it leads me to understand in Matthew's chapter 24, chapter 24 is a chapter that every denomination that believes in the book are going to in this end time. They going there. Why? Because they're afraid to go to Revelation. So they go to Matthew's. In Matthew's, he explained to us that we're not supposed to be caught up in wars and rumors of wars, because that's a trigger to take us out of what is about to take place. And this is what he says in Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And this is what he said. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Why? Because y'all got it already set up for wars. See, that's that right hand I tell y'all about. That right hand already got it set up to allow wars to move into wars. Okay, but he's not going to allow it to interfere with what he's about to do in this day. And what do you mean? He's saying in verse 6, Matthew 24 and verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. I mean, that's not something to be troubled about, nor do you, what he say? For these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So that's not what Yeshua is saying. That is not something we are to get caught up in, because that's not the key. He said verse 7 is the key. The key with verse 7 is this: nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, all of these are the beginning of sorrow. That's where it's going to throw down. That's where you're going to get hurt. That's where your feelings and emotions going to get all out of whack. So he's telling us these are the things. And where's this here, nation against nation? It's going to be within the United States. People just going up against each other because they ain't got nothing else to do but do evil and wicked. So when y'all see them talking about purge, all that, because they already read this and mastered it. You see, when y'all seeing all these movies that directing you to how would I say, wars within your own country, among your families, among your friends, among your neighborhood, among your city, among your state to state, they're gonna be just cutting up from the floor up. And y'all said now that Yeshua said now that's where you need to have some sorrow. That's where the sorrow gonna come in. And on top of that, he said famine and pestilence, and they already doing that right on top. They throwing out both of those. Both of those are already out, and they really preparing it to be as heavy as it possibly can, so it can match what? Nations against nations, kingdom against kingdom. It's going to be a mess in the United States. So now, when you hear people saying, get out of the United States, what they're really trying to say is, you didn't heard the biblical tell you what's going to be throwing down here in this country. If you can, get out. And they're not saying if you can, they're saying just get out. And they don't understand you can't get out of something y'all brought you in. You see, you can't even get out of something y'all has placed you in. And that's where their ignorance is at. But I can understand. See, understanding don't mean agree. You can understand where they're coming from, because they're seeing all these things getting ready to happen in this country and not the surrounding countries in this country, United States and the surrounding countries that support them. They already see that based on the biblical. So they said, get out. But Yah said Yah did not tell us to get out. He never told us to get out. He said, come from among them. Among them is not saying get out. So you won't receive their plagues. Meaning, these things in which it's going to take place, because this is what they're going to bring on themselves. These are going to be plagues that they're going to bring on themselves. They or not, they trying to start wars. That's why they passed the gun law. That's why they passed the law for people to smoke a weed because they know they putting substance in it. They know everything. They letting drinking, and everybody's just doing everything to mess up their mind. So when this time has taken place, so many things are going on in this country that the news can't even put on news. Why? Because it's so much they couldn't be able to put everything on. But it's a lot of things going on. You guys watch your local news and see in 1 week how much chaos is actually taking place in your area alone. So just imagine if it's the whole country. It's actually taking place. It was said that in each state in the United States, they have burnt down a food plant. You see, they already starting the chaos. It's within this country. So I can see why people are going to be looking far away, seeing the smoke and the chaos. Now, what I did see is, this is what I'm seeing spiritual. I'm seeing that the debris of Babylon falling, Babylon has already failed, but has already fallen, but the debris is going to be within. They're going to destroy each other within. Okay. It's going to be a chaos to the point where they're going to have to destroy, because the pestilence in which they're which they have already have given people, the jab, and all these other things they're out here, the monkey pox and all this crap that they're putting this stuff out here, you guys. And when they finish, it's just going to be a chaos in this country. So when they realize that, okay, this country is doomed, and all the elites went underground to escape out of this country, then they're going to say, well, we need to go on and do something with that so it can stay right there. We need to get rid of that country. That's how easy. The people are killing each other. The people are taking each other lives. They got people with diseases and affecting one another. Get ready for a Walking Dead, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. All that's going to be going on. That's what that nation against nation is. People thinking that's like a war against Russia or China. No, that's you're finna go up against each other in your own country, and that's the United States. Okay, so what these people are saying when they say and get out, they're saying that this stuff is going to take place. It's going to come to pass. But Sister Deborah, I'm not caught up in getting out. All I'm caught up in is that right hand of the Father. That's it. I know it's stretched out on. It can go as far as where I'm at to get me. So that's all I make sure I get caught up in, trusting in what He can do, because when it get like that, that's the only thing you're going to have to lean to. That's why Sister Deborah said, Judith, it's time to go into spirit and truth, because that's going to be your only life jacket. That's going to be it. You ain't going to be able to call on your bro. You ain't going to be able to call on your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, your grandfather, your neighbors, your friend. Oh, no. Everybody going to be so busy taking each other out, doing harm and killing and destroy. It's going to be a chaos. Now, this is what I believe. I think when it get to that, I also believe that Ahia's right hand is going to be and took his remnant out. That's what I believe. I really believe that. I really believe that. I believe that with no doubt. I believe that's what he's going to do. But it's going to happen. And the reason why I say it's going to happen is because it's already happening. It's just a sad thing that the people's eyes can't see. They can't even see what is in front of them that's happening. They can't even see that their own nation taking each other's lives, hating on each other, destroying each other, stealing from each other, selling drugs to each other. No one even see none of that, because we're focused on the heathens and don't understand. Y'all got them. He got their back and their front. So why are we so focused on them? He's the only one. He's the only one can stop them from doing any more to us. He is the only one. So why ain't we turning to him? But the 7 churches is beautiful because I see a nation of people that might not be in I don't even think they're in the 12 tribes. I'm gonna be honest. The 7 churches, I don't even think they're the 12 tribes. I'm gonna be honest with you. You go find out who the people are over there. You ain't gonna see nobody looking like you. Now we are over there. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about if you do a percentage of how many is in these 7 churches, how many in each one, you'll see. If you do, they do census. That's what they got, and you key it up, and they tell you how many different races are in that area today. I mean, for real, y'all. It'll tell you today, and you'll see we are not that many over there. We are not. So it has to be another people that we thinking that it's all about us, and we don't understand that there are others. You know how it was when he created Adam and Eve with me? This is when I was in elementary. My whole idea was, okay, they were the first, but after them, he still created others. See, a lot of people thinking that he created Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. You see, and one killed the other. Cain killed Abel, and then when Ahiah had charged him out of the land, he said, "Everywhere I go, they're gonna be out to kill me." Well, who gonna kill you? If Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, you kill Abel and Adam and Eve, it didn't say, I'm sure they had other children. The little babies couldn't be out to kill you. You see what I'm saying? People don't think that just because he made the first and the first man and woman don't mean he stopped right there and said, okay, y'all take it from here. It don't mean that. That's why I said we just put a limit on what he can do. And we don't understand the power that's in him that can do any and all things. We can't see that he can take us from the four corner and gather us out of all this chaos. We really said we believe it, but we really in us won't even receive that because we don't know about that right hand. We never sat down and hear him tell us about his right hand, his stretched out arm. Once you understand with that stretched out arm and that right hand, you'll know, wait a minute, here, come get me if you want to right now. That's how powerful he is and how he does things. He don't do it the way we say or the way we think. He does it totally different than what we would even think or imagine. You know what? Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I never thought of it like that. You know, that's the truth. You can run in the flesh, but not in the spirit. That is so true. Woo, that's a good one. That is really good. That's a good one. You are so right. That is a really good one. That's a good one. You can run in the flesh, but you ain't gonna be able to run in the spirit. See, that's what that is a really good one. I never thought of that one, but that's a good one. The only thing that can save you. And you know what? And that's why I say I don't bother the Christians when they talk about rapture, is because what we don't understand. I'm gonna tell you what I learned. And I guess this is why he said he has ordered our steps in him, because I understood what the people were saying. I understood the majority of what the people were saying in the Christian church, that we are no longer under the law, but under grace and mercy. I understand it 100, y'all. I understand it 100. It's the same thing with what you're just saying. And that was, let me say, you said, uh, so when a higher take his people out, is that considered the rapture? I don't bother with the Christians' rapture because they could call it rapture. But Yah already said he's going to gather you, didn't he? So it ain't too far from rapture. You get what I'm saying? It's just that when you say rapture, what they did is the pastors and the bishop, they took rapture over the hill. You know, they just took it a little bit over the hill, you know, to in an imagination in the people's mind. But deep down, it's gathering. He's going to take what's his. You see what I'm saying? So I don't call it rapture myself, you know. But when I was in the church, I didn't call it rapture then. But I never really got deep in the fact that it was rapture. I just knew that he was coming to get his. That's how I look at it. You know, a higher is coming to get his. So to me, it sounds like it's the same. You know, but this is what I'm saying. When people don't come together and talk with one another, it don't matter what denomination, what you believe in, or whatever. When you sit down and you talk to each other, then you'll see what people come up with a understanding. You see what they whole idea of what they believe. Why you say that, Deborah? Because a higher said, in all your getting, get understanding. Understanding does not mean agree. Understanding don't mean right and wrong. It just understand what a person is saying. And if a person do something, understand what could have been on their minds, what could they have thought of, or by you listening to them. That's why he said be quick to listen and slow to speak, because everything comes in when you're listening to them. But what they have done with their denomination, and people have put their denomination, their religion, and all of that on their shoulders, and they just walk around all boasted and pride minded instead of saying, well, what are these people saying? You see what I'm saying? Just understand what they're saying. You don't have to agree. It don't have to be right or wrong in you. It's called understanding. Sister Deborah have always talked to strangers. And when I say strangers, I'm not talking about heathens and Gentiles only. I'm talking about Negro people, period. Them too. You know, I always talk to people I don't know. That's what I mean when I say stranger. And you learn so much from them. Even that things that are spirit and truth. You learn so much from people. But if you just put them all in a they don't know what they're talking about, they just crazy, they just in that type of basket, then that's where you're gonna always putting yourself higher and higher and higher above everybody in understanding and in wisdom and knowledge. And we all got to get to the point where we understand where is the wisdom, where is the knowledge, and where is the understanding. It is all in spirit and truth in Yah. Now there is another wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's in the man's flesh, and that's the one they hold dear to. So the rapture is out. Is that considered the rapture? See, this is what they're thinking. They're saying that Yah is coming to get them that are saved. And that's where their error is at. It's because he didn't say that he was coming to get that which is saved. You have to be, what is saved, first of all. You know, a lot of them thinking that saved to them is those people in their church. Ain't that sad? People who go to my denomination, people who believe in what I believe in, people who say the same thing I say, we are the ones that he's coming for. We're the one that's saved. That's how they look at their rapture. Okay. But when you look at just rapture, it's similar to Yah gathering. He's telling them to collect all of his. First, he told the angels to put the mark in their head. And when he collect his and gather them together, he's going to take him wherever he's going to take them. He's going to gather them together. You see, but the rapture is what they have added onto it to make it, to get it out of the order of what he's actually saying. And this is what a lot of pastors and bishops and teachers have taught the people, to make them think that he's coming for us, and it's not about us as a people. And that's what a lot of churches believe, is he's coming for us because we are the believers, we are the saved, you know. And that's why I think it's even sad. Just think of all these millions of Catholics and Christian churches that carries Gentiles and heathen. Right now, they feel that they have to go into a church, believe, but you got to understand what their belief is. They believe this Mary and all this Paul, and they believed and what they believe in. You know, they believe in all kind of stuff. But see, Ahaya told me, he said, Deborah, that's where they're gonna be messed up from the floor up, because they have to believe in what I say. They have to believe, not what they've been taught, what they've been brought up throughout. Through their grandparents, their mother, their father, and they just everybody is practicing a tradition, and they ain't coming out that tradition. You need to come out that tradition in Ahaya and get into the spirit of Ahaya. That's what you need to do, because that tradition gonna cause you to get into the lake, go into the lake of fire at the end. What was that? I didn't think so. Neither either, because all the churches are going to fall away and depart. To me, the great falling away has already taken place, because we are looking for a building and we're looking for the flesh and a building. You know, a lot of people going to be falling away and not going to church. No, that's it. The Father said that's not the great falling away. The great falling away is where people once at one time thirst, or they had a quicken for the spirit. And because of so much going on, they all get caught up in other things and things that man is teaching and man is revealing, and they turn their face fully from the Most High, Ahaya. That's the falling away. See, the falling away is not a building or a group of people or a church or individuals saying, okay, we all leaving the church because they closing down, or we all leaving the church because this pastor is a homosexual, or this pastor is doing this, or this bishop is doing this, or we leaving the church because of this. That's not the great falling away, baby. The great falling away can only fall away from a higher. That's it. Nobody else. It can't fall away from nobody but a higher. And that's his. If he created the great falling away, why would he be talking about a building and an individual? The falling away has to do with individual falling away from spirit and truth. A higher. Falling away from what is righteous. You see, they're falling away because they want to be led. They're being led. They have been led by the multitude. A lot of people go to churches because there's a lot of people going there. They ain't going because these people are teaching them spirit and truth. Oh, we're going because everybody's doing it. Just like the broad gate. They're going straight through the broad gate. Don't you see it's broad? Why are you going there? But we're going to TD Jakes. We're going to this here church. It's, this here, I love my pastor. You hear them people talking all that, and I'll be like, wait a minute. How is it he gets it beyond a higher? It's confusing to me. And that's what all of them always saying. Well, my pastor ain't like that. My bishop ain't like that. My Maureen and my seer ain't like that. My watchman ain't like that. Oh, baby, sit down. Right. And that's a trap there to tell you going to hell. Like they got a hell to put you in. Now with them four rivers, I almost wanted to cry. I almost wanted to cry. Because guess what, y'all? Them four rivers is still over there in that area where the seven churches and near the Jordan, and over in that area where Iran, Iraq, and all them are at. So why is it we're not learning about over there versus learning this crap over here? You see what I'm saying? That's why I say we are lost without a cause, because it's more to it than what we think we know. Yeah. Relationship with him. That's it. And they turned away from that. That's what he's saying. They turned away from that, Deborah. That's the great falling away. That's why you end up with so many different denominations, so many different beliefs. Even when they came up with the Hebrew Israelite movement and the Hebrew Israelite awakening. Okay, it turned the people away from. Now, a lot of them thought when we was just running from Catholics, we was running from Christian churches, and we was running from Jehovah's Witness. No, baby. The relationship Ahia has with you is between you and him. Once you run away from him, you have fallen away. Because where else do you go to? To a man. You see? If he's wanting you to have a relationship one-on-one with him, who he said gonna be your comforter? He would. Who he said gonna be your teacher? He would. Who gonna show you things to come? He would. Who gonna reveal things to you? He would. Who gonna give you the power? He will. When you knock on the door, who gonna answer? Ahia. When you ask, who's gonna answer? Who's gonna be there to give you the answer? Ahia. If you seek, who you seeking? Ahia. So why are we seeking flesh of men and women and thinking that it's okay because the multitude is going in that way? That's the great falling away, is when they turn from what is spirit and truth to go into the flesh of man's understanding and wisdom, and then sit up under them day and night, especially in the churches. They will sit up with them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and I mean just sitting and just all, and ain't getting nothing for their spirit. No food for the spirit. Yeah, that's all. That's just how it, I don't know. That's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Because when I saw America from home, I'm like, Father, y'all, we are a long ways from home. Yes, you are. And that's what a lot of people need to grip. Look at that map. See what United Snakes is versus Jerusalem, Israel, and Jordan. And then see where, y'all need to look at it. It's on Google. And then see the map where the 7 churches is at. You said, we're right there next to them. Our home, where we left, is right next to the 7 churches. So we over here talking this yang, 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 yang. And we need to be talking about what's going on. You know, what's this thing with these 4 rivers that came out of the Eden that's leading to Iran and Turkey and all them other places over there? What we need to be really thinking, wait a minute, who is these people, these nations over there in this area of the 7 churches? See, the Hebrew Israelites will tell you that's us. And I'm gonna tell you one, they would definitely tell you it is. Oh, it's the tribe of Judah. I think the tribe of Judah has been dispersed over to the United States, Jamaica, the Shield, and all over that area. And that's we are a long way from home now. We are so far from home. Y'all should look at the map and you're gonna say, wow. So when you see it, then you can think about how powerful this right hand is going to be to bring us, to get us out, to connect us, to get us out. It ain't even taking no, it ain't gonna even be no miracle. But see, what you get to know what this right hand can do, then you know that hey, this is just something he's gonna do. And that's where we're all away from. You got him on this side and flesh on the left. Which side you gonna go? That's what he said. It ain't nothing wrong with fellowshipping and going and praising and fellowshipping and stuff. No, he telling us we shouldn't do that. He just saying know who's the head. Know who's the head. You know, and that's where we messed up. No, yeah. Look at that map. That's what gonna get you. And then look at the 7 churches, and then look how close they are. And then I even went as far as the mountains in that area, you know, where it said that the Mount Zion. I mean, I was all up in there. I said, oh, it's way over there where these other nations live. How or is it we thinking that? I don't know what we thinking as people, but those people over there is still. Don't forget, listen to the Bible. They gonna still be over there, y'all, and they gonna be coming up to the mountain to worship a higher. And my last ones was Ismail. I'm gonna see who he is, and if he's over up in there, if he's connected to them 7 churches, that's gonna blow my mind. That's gonna blow my mind because it ain't what they're saying it is. You see, it is not the way the Hebrew Israelite movement and the awakening is saying that it is, y'all. When you get deep into them 7 churches and you look at it on the map, okay, then you pull out Ishmael. Now, Ishmael, they believe in, is it Muslim? Yeah, I think they believe in that. But what you're going to understand is the promised land is said to be still over there by them. He ain't telling you in the Bible he's going to destroy them right now. He ain't said nothing like, he said they're going to be coming up to worship with us. We're going to be teaching them. You get what I'm saying? Y'all, something wrong. It got to be, what I think it is some connection to Abraham and his seeds. That's just it. It has to be. We're just the seed of Jacob, Isaac and Jacob. So it got to be some sort of connection, because even with Magog, when we get up there, Magog gonna come up trying to start some stuff, and they gonna die. They gonna get destroyed. but he ain't gonna destroy all of them. It's in there telling you he ain't gonna destroy. He's gonna destroy the majority of them, but he ain't gonna destroy all of them. You see, so it's just something about other parts in that area that's going to be still coming to deal with us once we hit that promised land. That's it. That land gonna be holy again, and we gonna be people that's standing up in righteousness, in spirit and truth for the Most High or higher, and doing what we should have been doing from the beginning. And then those are going to come. There's going to be others coming to join us in worship and stuff like that. And these are other nations, y'all. You see? So the issue is that Babylon, that the United States, that's where the issue is at. And all the other surrounding areas where Judah was scattered. That's where the issue is. Because once he can get us from among them, and I know we're gonna have to go somewhere. We're gonna have to walk. We're gonna have not to walk. I'm saying we're gonna have to travel in a sense, but it's another downfall in that, because even being in the promised land, he said we're gonna think back to the things that we done. Now, if you gave me a new heart, Father higher, you put a new heart in me, you put a new spirit in me, then you say you put your spirit in me, you put your name in here. Why would I be thinking those things? Oh, no. See, we thinking it's over. You know, we got our keys to the New Jerusalem. No, you ain't, baby. No, you ain't. So the same things that we're doing in this promised land, in this land of our captivities, in our captivity of our oppressors, the way we're conducting ourselves, we're going to have to answer to it when we get over there to the promised land. Yes. And if it's not clear, then know that you got a ticket to the lake of fire, because when that next step is the New Jerusalem. So I'm saying this to say, don't look at the promised land as an escape out of all the wicked and evil you're doing, you're thinking, you're feeling, you're teaching people this wickedness, and you're teaching people hating. Let me tell you, it don't go nowhere, baby. It waits for you, because he said that it's gonna come back to your remembrance. I'm like saying, well, wait a minute. This shows you. People sit and tell you your heart is your mind is your heart. Let me tell y'all something. Not the way he's doing it. He said, I'm gonna give you a new heart. I'm gonna give you a new spirit. I'm gonna put my spirit in you. I'm gonna put my name in you. Okay? What about that mind? He ain't gonna tamper with that mind, because he go right back after he give you all that. He say, and then there will come a time. This is over in the promised land, that you gonna remember your shame and all the sin that you conducted. You see, a lot of people thinking that promised land, we good to go. We got a kick. When we get to the promised land, we got our ticket to the New Jerusalem. No, you don't, baby. Because a lot of people doing that, traveling from the United States and everywhere else, you still lost here. You see, things are going to happen. It's going to be many that ain't going to make it to the promised land. It's going to be many of them. It's not going to make it. Okay, so they just thinking that, okay, we all are going to be together. We all go on to here. No, it's not going. It ain't going. It's not going like everybody think it is. When you lock that in, is when you hit that New Jerusalem. When you walk, when you hit that New Jerusalem, you in there. You see what I'm saying? You in there. But see, until you hit that, don't just clock yourself in 100. Oh, I got my ticket already to the New Jerusalem. No, we don't. Sister Deborah is still running the race. It is a race. Mass was doing that too, and I didn't know what it was and why. But see, even with the seven churches, if you look at the seven churches, I look at it and I see such a blessing in sending the angels to warn them churches. Because see, even to today, those churches, those individuals can always, they children and their children can always turn to Revelation and see their church, and see a higher calling them out in the areas. You say, y'all ain't getting away with it because he's telling us did this, and I think that's beautiful to be warned like that by the Father. I think that is beautiful. And even him telling them you are lukewarm. I mean, that who wouldn't want to him to come and tell them there are things that they are having error in. That's what makes it so beautiful. Him doing that is because that gives you a chance to get something right. But they over in Asia. That is deep for me. See, he ain't telling you over here in America. See, yeah, that's where they don't get it. We don't get it over here. He ain't saying that over in America. Where we at. Where we in an oppressor. He already got it sealed. You all going to be destroyed. So therefore, he ain't looking to tell us the things and not challenging, but warning us on the things that we are doing over here. He ain't even gonna warn us. He already said everything from A to Z when it come down to us over here. We just still looking for an answer out of a man and a woman's mouth to tell us something different than Yah has already told us. Yeah. Yeah, we sure will. We sure will. And then he said he's going to let Satan loose after a certain loose of time. What would be that purpose? See, they don't teach y'all past that. You see, they don't teach it. They don't get you past certain stuff. Well, what's the sense of him being loose? Who he gonna be loose on? Think, y'all. Think. Yeah, he's gonna reach what? No, it's not when we get there. Magog gonna come after us later on, and then we ain't gonna fight Magog. Y'all gonna take out that right hand power. That's why I say it's sad we don't know what that is. That right hand power gonna destroy them right on the battlefield before they can. They're not going to even come close to us. But what our people are going to be doing is collecting the dead, getting the weapons and stuff that they have, and whatever they have, we're going to pretty much bury the dead or do what we have to do. But he's going to do all that. Ahiah's going to do all that with Magog, and it's still going to be some left from out of Magog. All of them ain't gonna get killed, but it's most of them are going to be destroyed. Yeah, mercy and grace is right now. That's where we at now. A 1,000 years, yep, where he said he's going to let him loose. And I'm like, let him loose for what? See, because people don't know. It ain't over until you have walked into that New Jerusalem. That's Russia. And they're going to have all them other countries with them that have going to join in with them because like we be talking about the beast, the Antichrist, the false prophet and all of those are not going to be here in the United States. United States is down. Okay. They're going to be in another country or continent, another country. That's where the one world system is going to be. Here, they just trying to get you in control so they can to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, in this country here, they're trying to get everybody into one system so they can control you by destroying you. You see, That's it. A lot of people think it's all about money. People think, oh, the majority of this country, they think it's all about money. They think it's about politics. They think about Republicans and Democrats. Those are people who go to church every Sunday to these Catholic churches and these other churches, and they sit up under these pastors who feed them that crap and not tell them what to be looking for in these last days out of the mouth of all the prophets. You see, and out of the mouth of Yeshua. They don't tell them that. They just leave them out there hanging. And they just assume life is about, oh, I can't wait to Trump run, or who's going to run, and Biden get out because he got issues, and Republican, Democratic. Baby, this ain't got nothing to do with no Republican, Democratic. This is out of their ballpark. Believe it or not. This is way out of their ballpark, what is about to take place. Their whole idea is, this is what they're doing. They're talking about a one world system. Okay. Now they know that the one world system, they already know. Y'all just don't know how well these people know this book. From what they have read, they know that there is a place called Babylon. They know it's called Babylon. They know it's this, they know it's the United States. They know it. And what they're doing is they're still having to work and get everything into one so they can destroy it into one. You see, trying to get you into one to cost of money. See, people think it's a money thing. Them people could care. Look, all that money they sent over to them other countries when they turned around and gave you 1,500 stimulus check, then sent billions over to other countries, trillions over to other countries. And these countries, this is not for them, the other countries. This is money put away so that those who are going to be able to escape out of this country when they decide to order all the countries to get together to, I call it nuke this country. That's what they're sending that money over there so that they can be able to buy their way where they are going. This don't have anything to do with you. They don't care about no politics. They don't care about no Donald Trump getting in office. They could care less about you eating. Why do you think they destroying everything? Because they got to get you not in a one, it's not a one world system. You can't be in the one world system if they're getting ready to destroy this country. This country is going to be destroyed. Think about that. How can it be in any of those systems if it's getting ready to be destroyed? See, it's getting ready to set up something similar to a one world system so they can destroy the people in one system. That's what they're trying to do. But not so much as far as the beast, the Antichrist, and the false prophets. Okay? That's why giving you that is connected, I think, with no doubt, with that beast. Okay? But it's to destroy you. It is not to get you in a system and you're going to make things better, make America greater, or you're going to be able to stand the pestilence that and diseases and stuff that's coming. No, that's not what that's for. It's to make sure everything fall down. That's what I call the debris, where you can see America destroyed. You see, that's, I call it debris, because right now America already fell down. It has already fallen. We just sit standing around waiting for somebody to start a war. And he said, no, that ain't it. It ain't gonna be a war. It's gonna be a war. It's not a war. It's gonna be a nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom in itself. We're gonna just, you have, when we was coming up, do you all remember when they said America gonna destroy themselves? Have y'all heard people say that? America is going to destroy themselves. Yep, depopulation. And it's to destroy you totally. That's why they thinking they're going to do it with food and sickness, illness. They're going to be bringing out different pestilence, disease. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be trying to destroy. They definitely trying the racial war. They don't need to even try that because we as a people ain't got, we ain't, it's not enough for us to even defend ourselves. But I believe that that's why a higher right hand is going to be our weapon. Yeah, they're saying that. They know it. That's why China is not dealing with us on any type of togetherness. Nobody, no country outside of those that's on our side, over on the side of the water, where we are, and those others. I mean, they, it just, it's sad, y'all. If y'all see how far we are from home, and that how is it that everybody on the side where we come from is looked at as enemy to America? It just doesn't make any sense. It makes sense, but what I'm saying, it's just amazing when you think of Iran and Iraq, Turkey, and all of them, and you look over, you look on the map and say, "Wait a minute, that's over there where the seven churches. That's over there where oh, when the Nile River and all of that." I was like, "No, Father, no. You mean that is all over there where uh Iran and Iraq, I mean, all those others that's over there, and we over here on this side." That's why I say it's sad how this United States always make people think that every other country is the worst of the worst. And that's our mentality here in this country. We so much better than every other country, and we this and we all this and we all that, and that's what we are in. We are instilled. We have instilled that into our own thoughts, in our own mind, that America is all that and some, but America just a big lie. They tell us what they want us to know. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, I have seen that before. Resident Evil. I have seen that on Netflix, but I didn't get to watch much of it. But I have seen that. Yep. And they gonna, when he do that, they gonna feel the difference. They gonna know they in trouble. They gonna know they in trouble. That means anything goes. Once he get hands out, do you know what that mean for them? Oh man, do you know what that means? Oh, but yeah, I did my little Ephraim, the river, and oh my goodness, just learning all those things. It's just not learning it, but seeing it where it's at, and how all these other places is so near us. It is just so near us. And Ukraine ain't nothing but Russia. And Russia is Ukraine. They need to stop that mess. They just using that. They just using that as a scapegoat for us to fall into their trap. But just knowing Iran and Palestine and Arabia, Yemen, and I mean, just all of those places is right there near us, uh, heading to this here promised land, if it's still where it was, which it is before. Um, a lot of people thinking, and oh, this is something else. When people were seeing in Egypt, in Genesis, about the Nile River, the rivers, not the Nile rivers, but the rivers floating out of Eden, and it was talking about Ethiopia is one and the others, but you got to see it's not saying Ethiopian. Ethiopia is a part of the house of Israel land, or and that's why I think they get mixed. They don't understand. He said he just shot a river through that way. It ain't saying that this is a part of connecting Africa to our homeland. No, that ain't what it's. All you have to do is keep looking at the maps. Look at the maps, and they got some really old maps, and then you put them together with the ones they have today, and you start to see, and you be like, Iran is over there by Israel and Jordan, Jerusalem, Arabian, Palestine, and we over here thinking all those countries, this. We just don't know. Those are going to be people that's going to be already over near the promised land that is subject to be coming up to the mountain to worship Ahia. You see? Now, a lot of them are Muslim, but you don't know what it's going to do, because he said they're going to be coming, other nations, to worship, with us. So to me, I think we got it wrong, thinking these people are bad people and they bothering United States and they trying to war with United States. We need to put all that to the curb and leave United States where it's at, and that is falling. It is really neat. It is really neat to sit and see it. It's a sight to see. Then you see those 7 churches. You said this is a long ways for this to be talking about them here. That's why I also do not think that Yah is calling us to be up under heathens and Gentiles teaching. I don't care if you so hooked, your mind is gone. That's why you hooked on believing everything the oppressor said, believing you're supposed to still be bowing down and in captivity to them. Your mind is gone, because right now, listening to Gentiles, they are so far from what is spirit and truth. You ain't got no business listening to Gentiles. I don't care if let Yah save them, let him redeem them, let him what is it called, graft them in. He ain't telling you to do nothing but to thirst for him, thirst for his righteousness. Seek ye the kingdom of heaven. Okay, seek righteousness, seek just. These people here, the moment this nation going up against nation in Matthew 24, those people gonna come out and you're gonna see another side of them. That's why I say we are not in that day where we are to get up under. And this one guy be telling me he's sending his tithes to them. I said, see there, it's a mental state of mind. And he came out of Pastor Dow's church. It's a mental state of mind. He's gone. Because anytime you think it's about being up under the heathens and Gentiles for teaching, no, baby, they cannot teach you spirit and truth. They cannot teach you that. They cannot minister that to you. I sat and I listened to this pastor he was under, and he keep turning people to, and then people running to him. And I'm like, what will make them do that? He said, Deborah, why you keep asking me that? Didn't I tell you they're gone? That's why. Because I'm like, Father, I listen to that man. Ain't nothing he's speaking is spirit and truth. This man trying to get you to think and play that color thing, that Yah is all color. He's going to accept everybody. Yeah, if the heathens came in your town right now, you'll run onto their side and help them lynch somebody. That's just how bad it really is. People are so in tune with playing games and role playing. Why? Because right now, we as a people don't need to be role playing with them people. We need to be pretty much sticking to what Ahia is saying to our spirit. Let him teach us like he said he's going to teach us. Let him reveal to us what he said he's going to reveal to us. Let him be our comforter. Let him show us the things he said he's going to show us to come. And stop trying to find flesh to do the will of the Father. Like he ain't got his T's crossed and his I's dotted. He don't need us to be finding flesh to get up under and all in all. We need to be looking to the hills from whom our help come from. Because let me tell you something, we're gonna be hollering for that help. Because the things I just thank the Father that in spite of the things that are actually taking place, it feels good to know to know what is the next step. If they're gonna close this down, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. You know the next step. You'll know it because you already know what a higher has already put in your spirit to know. And you won't be running around here saying, oh, they're doing this. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Or if they cut my phone off, or if they cut my bank card off, because that's a really bad whammy. And I've heard already in the United States, the banks have closed down on people already. And I said, they open back up, but they doing things to I think as rehearsing. I think I'm saying it right. They practicing to see the reaction of the people. They don't want to put it on them all at once because the people were cut up from the floor. So they give them a little at a time, but then it's going to come a time they're going to say, bam, there it is. And everybody going to be out of whack. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do now. What I'm going to do now. Because this is what I was thinking. I said, now if they say stop the banks, now you can't use your card. And then they're going to tell you, and you can't use cash. See, this is how they're going to try. This is how they're going to flip this stuff. They're going to do all kind of stuff. But I believe that Ahia is going to come for the tribe of Judah before it get really that deep. I really believe he is. I really believe he's going to come. He's going to gather his remnant out of that nonsense. Because I believe it's something else. I believe once you've gone here, it's like he broke you here. That's the end game. Now it's time to restore. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. I really believe that's how he's going to do that. And I think a lot of verses really lead you to that, but it's too hard to handle right now. Too many people's like, I ain't gonna lose mine. You already lost yours. You just don't know it. When you went and take them shots, walking around here with I ain't seen no race in my state. Everywhere I go, my people got masks on. 100 degrees, they got masks on. And you know what else I did? I sat down with someone yesterday and we went over the history of the heat wave. And we found a greater heat wave back in 2008, 2014, 2000, 2015, 1959, 1936. But in the 2014, 2009 or 8, it was one of them, where it was hotter than what it is now. And one had it for 10 to 12 days of that heat. And the sidewalks and everything, y'all should see the streets, and everything was buckling up, was coming up because it was so hot. So it has happened like that before. Okay, the heat has happened like that before. And when you hear of something like that, the first place you go, when you hear of this heat at this capacity, killing these they did, first place you go is to Revelation. And then if you can't find it in Revelation, you got to go to where Yeshua is telling the disciples what the end day is going to be. If it's not telling you heat, then therefore it is something behind the scene of what the wicked man has orchestrated. You got to have some backing up. Them angels that is releasing and blowing trumpet, all that stuff, it has to tell you that the heat is going to take lives, or the heat is going to do this. It's going to be hot. And if it's talk about the sun, Lord, you know how I tell you about the sun, look like it's lowering, it's becoming lower and lower, or And then if you see that, then yeah. But you notice that that's not what it's doing. That heat ain't it don't appear to be connected with the sun. You see what I'm saying? So you really got to see, really kind of weigh that stuff out, what is actually going on. Cause what happened to me was that Sunday, I was selling the meals, and I was outside, and it was hot. I think it was like almost 100. And the strangest thing, everything on my table kept blowing. Where was that wind? At 100 degrees. You see? That's strange. And everybody would come out and help me and put the stuff back on the table, whole sign, which is heavy. This man said, "How did that fall? That's real heavy." You see? How is that wind going on and it's 100 degrees? Why is that wind blowing everything on my table? And I'm studying putting pans on top to hold it, and the wind knocked them down. And we was like, this is crazy. I couldn't keep my burners lit, wind blowing it out. So it's like sunny and 100 degrees, but they said, look at this wind out here. It's just amazing. It is amazing what is actually taking place in this day and time. And you can't put nothing past what the evil and wicked and evil is doing in this day and time. Yep, I heard they giving big time tithes and offering. They said the people still doing it. Oh, that's beautiful. Restoring your spirit. That is so beautiful. That's just like when he was saying renewing your mind. That's what he mean. Renewing it, because see, people don't believe that your spirit has a mind. Your spirit has a heart. It does. You can read into Ezekiel 36 when he said he's going to give you a new heart. And then he's going to give you a new spirit. See? And he's going to put a new heart and take away that fleshly heart. Honey, baby, please. You know what he's talking about. You know what he's talking about. Oh, yeah, worshiping do help. It does. So Sister Deborah, is not going to hold you long. But I will say I appreciate each and every last one tuning in tonight. And I will be back again. But yeah, look into that map and see our map and see where uh, the promised land is said to have been and where it's at now. It's all up in that area of or even our Israel in Jerusalem, Jordan. All of them is over there in Arabia and in that surrounded in that area, Palestine and Iran. And I'm like, and Asia sitting up in there in Turkey. I'm like, wait a minute now. This is all over in here. So these people is still going to be connected some way or another to coming up to the mountain to worship with us. It's deep, y'all. It is deep. And the thing about it, I was looking at Europe and see that the only connection it had only a very small portion of Turkey, very small portion. So it is all it's all connected with the United States, even though it's far away from the United States. But that's where I heard that the fake Jews come from, Europe. And that's where the people over in the United States come from. And thank you. I appreciate each and every last one. So I'm going to tune in. I think I said it right. I feel a little tired and drained. And So much is, thank you. So much is going on, and let not your heart be troubled. Know that He has the certain kind of power that can override any and all things. Uh, yeah. So, do you all? Where do you go to fellowship? Do anybody go among others to fellowship? It's sad that you really can't find very many places. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And don't you think it's kind of scary to not have a place, because the mindsets that's out here and the way people are teaching, and they more so hung up on what they believe instead of just believing Him and who He is. It's just strange. So I, Sister Deborah, say shalom and shalom, and I will be back. But check out those maps, and see really where we are. And I say shalom and shalom.